My name's Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. And today, I want to talk about something that has been on my mind a little bit this past couple of weeks. And it's the concept of friends and enemies. Friends and enemies. Someone would say if you don't agree with somebody, then that might be your enemy. You could say that you should be able to have enemies. You should have people out here that you're against and you don't ever could see eye to eye to because of who they are and what they do. And for me and my beliefs, this is where things get a little complicated, I guess, for most people that don't believe what I believe in, which is the Bible, which is the Jesus. Because I don't have no enemies. I'm never going to align with someone and be a friend. I'm never going to align with someone and be an enemy. I have no enemies. And at the same time, I have no friends. I have just people that I'm working with and I look at as being the same in an equal sense. Because I do know this. This is how others are going to do and view and be about stuff. The moment you could say I'm friends with somebody, and you're friends as long as you agree with each other. And that's why your friendship is there. But as soon as there's a disagreement, now all of a sudden you're not friends. So that must mean that you weren't really friends. You were only there because of what you were getting out of it and not really for that true, what I want to say is friendship. When you're able to communicate with people in a sense of knowing that they're not friends and they're not enemies, you're going to be able to talk to everybody, everybody, regardless of who they are and what they're about. And I'm never going to look at somebody because they don't agree with me as you're an enemy, because then that just makes me be just the word I want to use here is a meaningless, worthless person on this planet for my own self. I would never want to walk around this planet thinking that you're my enemy because we don't do the same stuff. I'm putting myself in anger. I'm frustrating myself. I'm just discouraging myself. I'm destroying myself if I'm going to be walking around these lands and looking at people that way. Because I'm just going to be looking for people that agree. But the thing, again, is they're always going to disagree. And they may not disagree up front. It may be a year, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 later that they finally say something. Oh, I can't stand you, and I don't like you, and I don't want you. That means that everything was fake with it. And that's why, for me, I never want to ever get into anything and being fake. That's why my beliefs and how I've really come to understand, say, the truth of what Jesus is all about has allowed me to be able to see of I don't have no enemies, and I don't have no friends. I have people that I'm just working with, talking with, and deal with. And I'm going to treat every single one of them the exact same. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you think you want to do. I don't care how you do. I'm going to treat everyone the same way, regardless of what it is that they're even trying to do to me. Someone could be trying to just absolutely destroy me, and I'm still going to cook you some food. I'm still going to make sure that you're fed. I'm still going to make sure you got some clothes. I'm still make sure that you're doing all right. As opposed to the other person that is just trying to say, suck up to me, try to please me, to try to make me think that they're going to be better or I should treat them better because they're being nicer to me. That's phony. That is so fake. For me, I'm going to treat every single person the same. I'm not on this side. I'm not on this side. I'm on the side of none. Zero. I'm on the side of what I want to say is truth. The truth being that I'm not going to pick and choose and be on the side because I'm not, in my mind, my language is going to go deep in a couple videos because I'm just tired of not swearing or nothing. I just can't do that. I don't know how. I can't even say swear words anymore. It's like a blockage hits me and it just doesn't come out. But harsh in the sense of just saying it in not sweet and soft and cuddly and cute type package, but just saying it how it is. And saying it the main thing I want to say it is in the way of how I personally view things when I see how people are acting and being as childish, as very, 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 very childish. When you're sitting here, who's on this side and who's on this side and now they changed this side and now they're on this side. It is so childish to me. It is so, you haven't learned the truth, especially, my goodness, if you're a Bible believer like me and you're worrying about sides and you're worrying about enemies and you're worrying about friendships, you're not aligned with the truth. You're not aligned with what it is that we're supposed to be doing. You're not aligned with where it is that we should be going. And that's something that I want to be able to explain to people because I used to struggle with this so much. I'd be mad at somebody because of what they've done or how they look or anything about them. It could be something so trivial. I'd just be mad at them. And I'm just having this anger towards them and this anger. And they would, I know that they could sense it because there's no way that the other person can't sense it. Like I can sense when someone is hostile and angry at me. And it's for me to sense that and to see what am I going to do next with this? Am I going to double down in it? Or am I just going to in reality, the best way I like doing it today is ignore it. Ignore it in a way of realizing and not putting anything to it to show somebody, anybody, that we don't have to go into a bicker. We don't have to fight. We don't have to battle. We could disagree, but we can still keep moving and still keep flowing and still keep going. To me, that's the truth of being a man. I don't know what women are all about and how women function, how women think and how they do stuff. I could read books, I could talk, I could speculate, I could do all that, but I don't have the genetic makeup because I see a huge difference in just my dogs alone over my female and my male dogs. There's a huge difference. They are not the same. They're not even similar with certain things that they do. You know, some stuff, you get it. But I'm talking like in the sense of, at the end of the day, of a relationship between what they're doing with each other. My girl, she gets super sensitive when she's in heat. It's like, it's a very eye-opening experience for me to see. Anything that I do that I used to always do, all of a sudden she's just like, she's a little on edge. And I'm like, I'm sorry, girl, it's all right. Any faster movement that I do, anytime that if I skip a step or anything that I do, if I tell her that, hey man, get out of here. I don't know why I say hey man to my girls as well, but whatever. Hey man, get out of here. I just go lay down, stop pounding me right now. She just takes it extra. And I don't notice this with boys across, like I'd say my mature dogs, and I don't notice this with men. I notice this with females that more do that, but I don't notice this with men. I notice men just get stuff done. They get it done. They don't cry. They don't complain. They don't pick sides. They don't try to build an army. They do what they got to do and they make it happen. And they get things finished and figured out. They don't sit there and just keep trying to bicker and battle and fight about it. They just get it done. And they don't allow their emotions to get into the middle of it. They just focus and move. That's why, you know, we have so much war going on today. And where do you think that starts? Men, right? Men that aren't men, but boys that are not emotionally there yet. And they think they have to fight and try to conquer and try to take over to be able to get what is it they need. They don't know how to do it in any other way. Because going again to the last video I was just posted, they don't know how to get to that mature stance. That stance of saying, I'm going to focus and stay on my mission and do what I got to do. They got to keep going over here, going over here, going over here, going over here. And they're thinking that, oh, I'm going to finally get it over there. As opposed to just realizing that there's nothing other than you staying focused and do what you got to do. Because everyone's always going to come in and say, oh, look at you. You're all over the place. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know where you're going. You don't know how to get anything done. But yet for me, I'm going everywhere I need to on my mission, on my journey to get what I need to make sure my stuff is looking the way that I want it to be able to get to. I'm not looking at what somebody else has. I'm looking at what I have. When I'm sitting here saying something to a dog and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Everything that I've learned and everything I've gotten to has gotten me somewhere, but I'm at this, like, I need a little bit. I need a little bit. I need a little more. Am I happy? Am I satisfied? You know, I can say that I'm happy and satisfied and I'm done. But for me personally, I want to keep growing and growing and growing into the point of just keep cruising. I don't want to get to that point of just, it's good. You know, I could do that when it comes to a car or a house or something, but when it comes to my skills, when it comes to my knowledge, I want to keep expanding that. I want to keep growing upon that. So I'm going to keep growing upon that to be able to get something that I'm looking for out of what I have. And that's the thing that so many people just can't, I don't want to put people on it, but so many men are incapable of being able to do. You are incapable of being able to push yourself to be able to get better. And or you're incapable of being able to get yourself, motivate is not even the word because motivation is not the key term here, but get yourself to be able to stay consistent at being able to get yourself into a better place. You're always just quitting. You always just give up. And or you do the worst thing that a man can do on this planet is just settle. Just settle. Well, that's good enough. It's not good enough. That's not how we are going to be able to upgrade and escalate this lands. That's what's happening right now. Everybody's settling. Oh, we'll just take what we can get. Oh, it is what it is. You could just do whatever you want to me. You could just make anything happen. And more people are just settling as opposed to just standing up and saying, no, I want to do this. I want to experience this. I want to go into this. And I'm going to do whatever it takes, no matter what anybody has to say, to do what I need to do to be able to make that happen. I see this stuff so much from people and so-called men that are just fighting and bickering and battling. And they're constantly doing it over and over and over and over and over and thinking like they're getting somewhere, thinking they're going to finally open up to one person's mind of like, haha, see, now be on my side. That's so childish. Be on your own side and do your own thing. And if you want to help somebody, help them in the way that you're able to help them, in the way that you're able to be able to actually be able to do it. Not in a way that you're trying to help people from what anything else or anybody else, but through your own experience. That's the most amazing content that I can ever listen to is someone's experience. I don't want to listen to a guy that's been sober, never done a drug his entire life, tell me how to be able to get over an alcohol or a substance abuse problem. I would never, ever listen to that. I want to listen to, because all he's going basis is books and what he's read. I want to listen to the person that's experienced it, that's been through it, that's been on those days that they're fiending, that they're sweating, that they're hurting, that they're sore, that they're broken. And how did you overcome it? What did you do when you got to that point that you just wanted to quit and give up? What was your next step? I want to listen to that. The experience is, in my mind, in reality, what matters the most. It matters the most absolute most of the most of the most of the most of most of most of most, most of everything. And most of everything. And the books that I love reading are the books of people that were actually going through the experience. Not theorizing about it, not reading about it, but actually going through it and dealing with it and going through it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Then they finally realized 30 years, 40 years later, okay, this is working. This is giving me something. This is going somewhere. This is actually giving me what it is that I'm looking for. And then we can move forward with that. But the thing is, most people aren't capable of being able to do such a thing. Because they're so focused on what someone else and the appearances over there and the ideas over there and the conversations over there and the chatter over there and the background noise of over there. So focused on all that you don't stay focused on what it is you need to be able to get done. That's why in reality nowadays it's like a dying art of people just getting things finished and finalized. Everyone's just so quick to just, I don't know what I'm doing and just giving up on things. They're so quick to just quit. So quick to just say, oh, I'm just defeated. So quick to, oh, since I didn't get what I wanted, now I'm going to go try to band together and try to build an army against what it is that I can't get so that I can make sure that they also can't get. That's what we're doing in reality as humans today. And I see this in a global situation today. Because you can't do what you see someone else do, you now want to try to fight everything about them. And you want to fight them, you want to get everybody on board. And the more people you have to come and fight at them to get them to stop doing what they're doing simply because you just can't do it. And simply because you can't do something doesn't give anybody a right to sit here and think that they need to start to talk about somebody, talk down to somebody, or do anything like that, because they simply can't do it. They simply can't get it. And I see that all the time everywhere. I see it everywhere. I see it, oh my goodness, my new farm channel I've been watching, I'm just impressed. This is one of the hardest working men that I think I've seen in such a long time with all the stuff that he's doing and going on and video after video after video. I'm just like blown away. And then all of a sudden I get the naysayers come in. The hecklers come in, not even the hecklers, but the guys that are just, they literally have an entire channel on YouTube with tens of thousands of subscribers to talk about these people on their farm. I literally found at least a dozen, and I bet there's more, people that their entire channel is to talk about everything wrong about what they do. So since they can't do what they see going on, they have to try to talk bad about what they see going on. Then they have to try to get groups of people together to see them, to get them to stop doing what it is they're doing, because they're incapable of being able to do. These guys are living on a massive farm, all fresh, brand new, and they're building everything. And this is the best word I can use here. The haters are literally in their apartments, in their little tiny room, in there, got no food, no refrigeration, got no animals, no nothing. They got nothing. They got nothing. They have absolutely nothing. They're sitting there barking orders at how they're so wrong. They're wrong because you can't do what they do. You're so upset because you can't do what they do. You're so just bitter and resentful because you can't do what they do. And because you can't do what they do, you try to come up with something else of, oh, see, this is where they're wrong, and this is where they're wrong, and this is where they're wrong, as opposed to everything right about what's going on with them. Everything right. Because that goes into the whole thing of friends and enemies. You try to make friends with them, and then you realize you can't make friends, and now I need to make an enemy. Now I have to make enemies and make this person and do this to this person to get this person to, at the end of the day, unfortunately, the most sick part of this, especially if it comes down to men, is you want validation. You want to have that enemy so that person has to give you something so that you could start to just feed up that energy and start to feel something from that because of how just disgusting you are as a human being inside. You so have nothing inside of you that the only way that you can sleep at night is to say something negative about somebody, say something bad about somebody, as opposed to saying the good things that you see in people. That's why for me, at the end of the day, all I can see is the good stuff that I see in people. The things that they're doing that is just absolute, just beneficial to be able to help folks out. I don't see the so-called bad things people are, the bad ways of this and the bad ways of that. No, I see the bad ways that a person is acting in their character when all they're doing is looking at the negatives and the bads in somebody's stuff that they're working on. That's why I like all this stuff that I've done because, of course, even right now, things are a little messed up. I could hear them. Dude, you're not supposed to be on that side of the fence, which I don't care about. But actually, give me a second. It's messed up right now. I was just gonna say that, and it just is what it is. But I like that every video I do. Back up, man. Back up. I'm gonna have to turn that electric fence back on, which I don't want to do. I just want you to not go over there right now. Give me 2 more months, okay, buddy? 2 more months, and then you can go over there. You got ample food out there to keep on eating. You being pushy. I got you. But it's just stuff in every single one of my videos at every moment, every time that everyone you can watch everything. And most people that are in reality, unfortunately, not only say to most people, but there's lots of people that are watching my videos looking for that one thing that I messed up on. See, look at that. As opposed to all the great things that you could possibly see going on. But every single one of my videos, something weird is going on. Something strange. So I'll tell him, I made a video maybe a year ago that I wanted to get this dog better around the cows. And today, I'm literally, we're hanging out. We could be together. He didn't even mess with the dang cow. It was the cow brushing up against the fence that I heard that he's over here trying to eat off some brush. So I was almost going to say, like, look, my Johnny's messing up. But then I realized, like, actually, he's not. He's doing exactly what it is that I'm looking for. But everybody is looking for that negative thing about what to happen and what to say, and how everything that for me personally that I can even say is I'm all wrong because you saw that one thing on how I had pushed my cow's head and I got him to get out of that ground. I'm wrong because of that. And that's what I see about that farming channel. They have one video that something happens, an animal gets loose and he's pushing to get back. Oh, look how you did that with that animal. As opposed to looking at how healthy his animals are looking, how nice and clean everything is looking, how everything is just well taken care of, how it's impressive to see. But it's like you have to attack everything negative because you can't be a friend with them because you don't even want to learn how to be able to do what it is that they do. And or you tried and you lost and you got defeated and then just like, oh, that can't be right because I couldn't be able to do it. That's all. I'm sorry. That's funny to me. That is like straight up. It's funny to me. But that's how this world works, people. That's how it is. When someone can't do what you do, they're going to try to destroy you because they want to destroy you, not to, in a sense of them to be better than you, but they just want to destroy you to make sure that you can't keep doing the good things that you're doing. It's just this world really is. And if you're, how do I say this? Because I used to think like this hardcore on like how bad the world is and things aren't going anywhere, nothing's getting done and how evil people are. And if you're looking at that in the world, it's a hard world to look in. But the way that I really seen it is all I could do is just realize what it is and just laugh at it. Laugh at it. And look at it and just laugh at it and say, look at that. Look at that. I knew that person was going to do that. I knew they were going to be like that. I knew it. And then when it happens, I just look at it like, huh, that's pretty cool. That's why I'm never your friend. That's why I'm never your enemy. That's why I'm always looking at it from the outside and looking in and just saying, hey, look at all this. Because at a moment's notice, anything changes with people. 1 minute you're a friend, 1 minute you're an enemy. 1 minute, and then you just keep bouncing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But for me, I don't have no friends and I don't have no enemies. I have people. I have folks. And that makes life it makes it so easy. So easy. So easy. Because when someone lets you down, you look at it and say, okay, well, buddy, you let yourself down. You didn't let me down. You did that to your own self. You didn't do that to me. And life is so simple when you're looking at it like that. You're not holding people to a high level, a high standard. Someone has to be there and has to, because this is a problem that happens to a lot of people, unfortunately. You watch someone for so long, and all of a sudden they do something wrong, and it's, I can't stand that person, I don't like that person. And your whole world can be flipped all around because one person did something that you don't agree with anymore, and now I got to get back at them. Your existence could just really get shattered, get destroyed, get beat down. Because you're not focusing on what you should focus on, your own self, in a way of not saying it like this, but protecting yourself and keeping yourself safe. Not safe in a way of not trying to run away from everybody, but keeping yourself safe in a way of realizing, I don't care what they do. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you don't like me. At the end of the day, I'm going to do the same to every single person, regardless if you like me or don't like me. And it sets you up for just an absolute ease of life. Ease of life. You don't need to argue with anybody. You don't need to battle with anybody. You don't need to bicker with anybody. You don't need to fight with nobody. You don't need to get mad at nobody. You don't need to be angry at nobody. You don't need to be nothing. You don't need to be happy at everybody. You don't need to be excited over people. You don't need to be joyful over people. You don't need to be anything. Nothing. Because all those are just emotions that are constantly changing. They're constantly changing. 1 minute you're happy and joyful from someone, then the next minute you're enraged and just absolutely just mad. It changes. And long as I know for a fact that that's how this world works, that everybody's constantly cycling, constantly changing, I'm not going to put myself in it. I want to put myself at the most stable spot, right dead smack in the middle. Right in the middle. My expectations are right in the middle. Not too much, not too little. So when things go on, when someone tries to be my friend and they come in and then they do something to destroy me, I'm right in the middle. I'm not going to be, I'm all excited because now we're friends. And then when he does that thing to just destroy you, it could drop you down. It could turn you to be from doing good to now all of a sudden I'm suicidal. And at the same time, both sides of that. You want to be right in the middle, not allowing people to play in your emotions to get you to get drawn into them. Because people are going to constantly keep doing that. This is a horrible thing with the church. A horrible thing with the church. This is what they love to do. You're sad. Yeah, I'm just going to say it straight up. This is because I was with I was in, how do I say it? That's a good word to use. Interviewing different religions and different churches and different things and different stuff. And when it comes down to different ones, there was one that just did something that is just, it's rough. It's hard. It's absolute chaos. And that's when I was talking to the Jehovah's Witnesses. When you come in, it's what do you want to do? You want this, you want this, you want a car, you want this, you want a wife, you want a husband, what do you want? We'll give it to you, we'll give it to you, we'll give it to you. It's just like they would just keep giving and giving and giving. And then the second that you did anything that like you didn't show up to a meeting. Now it's like just it's like lay the law down. Now that you didn't give enough money, lay the law down. Now that you didn't go out and do the, I forget what it's called, but knocking on the doors thing. They lay the law down on you. Now that you're starting to talk to somebody that's outside of the group, they just lay the law down on you. They get you all excited, all excited, all excited. Then you start to get excited because most people that are kind of going into church, going into religion, you're not doing too good right now. There's rarely that a person's just like, I'm happy, I'm good, that you're seeking like something like that. Usually you're in a really bad place. You just tragic, lost a life. Not your life, but someone close to you life. You're addicted to something. It's just something usually kind of bad is going on. And that's the whole message of Jesus in reality. But something bad is going on in your life and you're seeking for. And once you start to seek for, you got find somebody that's like, oh yeah, woohoo, 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 everything's fun. And you start to like get these fake, this is what I'm saying, these fake feelings of everything is good now. These people care about me. These people like me. These people are all about me. But in reality, they're only about their organization, not you. They're worried about oh man, I can't stand church. But this is how church is. They care about the church. They want to make sure that they can build it. They got a better playground. They got better cameras. They got better screens. They got better chairs. They don't care about, at the end of the day, not all, but most. They only care about making sure that their stuff is getting better, not that you're actually getting any better. Give me one more second again. Bull man, get your butt out of there. I'm going to turn that fence back on. John, you're going to act tough, but I know you're not tough. So don't even try this right now. Get out of here, man. In 20 minutes, don't touch that because you're going to get shocked, unfortunately, buddy. I don't want you breaking my fence down. He's getting a little too pushy. You can see Johnny. They're behind a fence, and this dude is still scared. He runs up on him, and they stop and look at him, and Johnny's like, I'm dancing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But they're only caring about fixing themselves and getting themselves into a better place. So then that's when you think you have a friend, but you actually don't have a friend. You actually only, in reality, have an enemy. So they're treating you like a friend to get something out of it that they want. And then once the real kicks in, now you're going to get destroyed. You're going to go way worse than where you even started in the beginning. That's what I constantly see. That's why for me, you do what you want to do. I don't care what you do. At the end of the day, I like how the pastor man I listen to, that's how you do that. You do whatever you want to do. I don't care. It's not going to change my world, my life, my anything. It's not going to do nothing for me. All I can do is just speak about stuff that I've learned from and been able to get more. The word I want to use here is peace in my life. And I could just say that and spread that and talk about that, but I can't make you do nothing. And I don't even want you to do anything. I don't even want you to react and act off of words that I say. I want you to hear it, think about it, and figure out, does this work for me? And if it doesn't, cool. If it does, cool. Either way, it's the same for me at the end of the day. It's the same for me. If somebody gets good information from what I say, I feel the same way as if this sounds messed up to some folks, but I'm telling you, it's a beautiful way of being able to live. It just calms and relaxes myself to be able to just be so chill that if you say something great about what I've said and made it help you, it's the same as someone that says, Mark, you're an idiot, and I don't know why you're even doing what you're doing. I get the same feeling from both. Stable, right in the middle, calm. Stable. Nothing that's just like throwing me off, nothing that's making me want to quit, just steady, stable. I get the same from both because I don't have friends or enemies. I just have people that I'm dealing with and even my own self. I'm not a friend or an enemy to my own self. I'm just me. I'm trying to figure out how to be able to live on this land without having to worry about what anybody has to say, what anybody's trying to make me do. I could do what I do. Again, that's the number one thing. I love to talk about the great thing. I like talking to folks about coming to America and hearing their stories. And I'm just going to say thank you right there. And I'm going to transition to talk about that because I want to talk about this in a little bit more in that sense of what America really is the coolest about. It's not this dream of buying stuff and having stuff. It's the beauty of being able to not have to worry about any other person's opinion about you. You could just do you. You could do whatever you want. There's some countries, this is why for me, I'm going to say it straight up because this is how I see it. There's some countries, you'll get killed for being a certain way. You get killed for being a gay or a lesbian person, for instance. But here in America, you could do whatever you want. In certain places, you'll get killed for not having something cover your hair. Literally, you get stoned to death. Old school stoning ways because you don't have your hair covered. And you can come to America and you could do whatever you want. You can shave your hair. you can have it be as long. You can have whatever colors in it. You can put beads in it. You can put seashells in it. You can do whatever you want. But there's other countries that you can, if you say a name, like you say the name of Jesus, you could be killed on the spot right away. But you can come to America and you could say it. You could go stand on the corner with a megaphone and say it all you want, as long as there's no noise ordinances. But you can stand there and do whatever you want to do with that. America is the coolest thing because of that. It's because we can stay in our own lane and do what we want and not have to care about what anybody has to think or say. Obviously, I'm not even going to talk to the haters right now, but you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You can make happen what you want to make happen without worrying, do I need to ask them permission first? No, you need to just do what you need. Again, I'll talk to the haters for half a second. If it's hurting somebody else, don't do it. If it's hindering other people, if you're using other people to get what you want, don't do it. Literally, if you come to America in the sense of being here and realizing how to actually help people, you're gonna live a very nice life. But if you're here trying to manipulate, steal, and destroy folks, you may seem like you have, because that's where you will have, say, a so-called American dream. You'll have nice stuff, but the inside of you is going to be lacking. It's going to be, you're going to be like missing something. That's why you need more stuff. You need more things. You need more friends. You need more enemies. You need more alliances. You need more. You need more. You need more. You need to keep adding more. You need more people to believe in you. You need more people to desire you. You need more people to beg after you. You need more people to ask you more. You need more. When you keep on needing that more, you're missing something inside. You're missing something. You're seeking, like, I need to find as many people that agree with me, and I need to go on because this is where social media is getting like super weird today, that you can go find millions and billions of people that agree with you. And you're like, yes, I need to go and belong with that, so that we all have the same thing, that we all hate this person. And we're all friends because we all hate this person. We all don't like this stuff. We all want these type of people to get away. You like to gang up and get together to make yourself feel of something. That's, to me personally, that's evil, because you're looking for somebody in something that you don't have your own self. You need to work on your own self. You need to look deep in your own self and ask yourself, do I need friends? And if you do, why? Do I need this? And if you do, why? Do I care about that? And if you do, why? If you care about is someone that says that they don't like how you look and how you do and how you function, why does that affect you? Why does that make you get anxious and get nervous and get worried? Why does that make you stop and quit and not do what it is that you said you wanted to do because you're worried because they said that you look stupid doing that? Why did you listen to them? Why do you care what they say? Why do you care what they got going on? Why? Why does it matter? It matters, from my personal experience, because you're not actually secure with your own self to be able to say that you know that you could be able to make it happen. You need the validation of others to be able to do. And if that's what you need, that's the word I want to use here is the evil that's in us. You need someone to praise you for you to work. You need someone to praise you to go. This is where stuff with dogs is so silly to me. I don't need to praise the dog to do anything. I could just be with them. But people today think, I need to keep praising it. I need to praise it. I need to praise it. I need to praise it. And where does that get you? The same hole in that dog that's inside of you. That same insecurity in you is now in that dog. The same anxiousness in you is in the dog. The same reactivity in you is now in the dog. It just keeps going hand in hand together. Because you think that you need to keep praising, you need to find friends, you need to create enemies, and then I'll be good. Once I have enough enemies and I could talk to them, I'm a better debater than them, and I could destroy them, I could beat them down. There's something lacking. There's something missing. And through that lack and through that missing is where we could finally learn to be able to get better with ourselves, to realize what's wrong with me so that I can overcome that. What's up, Johnny? Keeping my cows at bay. I appreciate that. You're not really good at it, but you could try. Since I got rid of the big OG, he was really headstrong. He's not so headstrong, but I've always kind of handled this little boy. So he's like 3 years old now. He's pretty strong, but he's not like, I can move him away. I can move him for food. He's so easy. He's so easy. But I've had him, he was born here. So I've always been around him as a baby. Well, when the other ones, when I get them and they're just like, I'm not moving. Man, it takes a specific animal, a specific dog to get them to move, and or a specific piece of equipment to be able to get them to do what you need. But this guy, he's pretty soft, but he definitely has that I'm gonna do what I want to do attitude, and it's pretty interesting to see. That's where he's always been. This dog here, he's no good at these cows, period. He just gets hit. He's not agile enough. He's not fast enough. He's not strong enough. He's just not enough. He's just not enough. And he tries to think he is, and I let him try it sometimes, but he's just not enough to because I'll probably see that back again. If you could see what I saw when I walked over there, and he kind of was dancing around like scared. He's like, what do I do? What do I do? But my border collie, he has zero dancing, zero. He's just straightforward, straight into it. They so close, might as well go say hi. You hear the hawks out here. All my baby chicks in the back are getting way more free range, so now all the hawks are starting to come back. But you can see, he'll give him a little bit of push with his eye, but Johnny will always back off. You can see, honestly, you can see it, yeah. He's whipping his head around a little bit at him. He's not tough. He's a soft bull. He's not hardcore. Come here, little girl. I haven't gave you pets in a while. Yeah, I done broke my fence up over here. Boy wants a snack. That's why they standing here. She's probably not gonna come because Johnny. They grow so fast. This girl here was born, I think, in February, February. She's already almost full grown in size. I don't know if you can hear him. Johnny sitting there growling at him. They don't give him no mind. They don't flinch to this dog. It's just so cool. Just seeing how the animals are with each other. So at the end of the day, this girl here is more dominant than my dog Johnny here. She could push him around very easily. And this little one will be right next to him because that's not what he is about. He's like he's a soft dog. He's a pet dog. He's not a working dog. That's why for me, at the end of the day, some folks are always like trying to critique me and my dogs look like and what they do. I don't do what pet dog owners do. I have pet dog and I know how to do that because clearly it all starts with getting the dog calm, getting the dog in a good place, getting them to be able to want to listen because I enjoy you, because that's the natural role of them. And then I can move towards the next things to do. For me, it's always going to start with that calm first, and then I could do next. Well, most people, you don't need next. You need just that beginning stage. And the next is going to go, it's absolutely worthless for you. You don't need it. Where I go next, I get the dogs to do, my dogs do some crazy stuff. Like they do some very intense things. They do things that are just absolutely, just how I'm looking at it, how I understand dogs and how I see people with their dogs. They do things that's just, it's so impressive to me because I don't see no one doing certain things that I've been able to play with that. It's so impressive to me because I definitely do. I like the hunting aspect and that concept of utilizing the dogs. And it's dangerous, but it's not only for them, but it's dangerous for me and everything involved. But it's when the dog is in full pursuit, full engaged, doing something and has it in its mouth, at that moment, trying to get that dog off, because I've never done this with no e-collars, no slip leashes, no prong collars, no nothing. And even when you do it with that, it's still hard. I've seen go watch like boar hunting dogs, because that's probably the next stuff that I'll be getting into in reality in the next 10 years. But boar hunting dogs, they'll have the e-collar on the dog and they're blasting the dog, and the dog is not letting go of that grip. That dog is on that grip. It doesn't want to let go. It's so intense. So to be able to get the dog to be able to get off when they're in, get the dog away from chasing when it's pursuing, man, good luck. Good luck. Somebody, that's the thing. I could say, show me. Show me. I can get the dogs to never chase, yeah, but show me to let them chase and then call them back from the chase while you just told them to do the chase. Not because they randomly just took off and chased something. No, you said, I want you to get this. Go get it. And then tell them to come back from the middle of that. This heads into, there's no training involved with that, in my opinion. That's all the social aspect relationship of us and dog working as a pairing, working as a team. That's how that gets good. There's nothing other than that. And that's the thing of why, for me, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be listening to the outside noise of what my stuff should look like, because you don't do anything that I do. And that could slow me, that could make me stop doing and stop pursuing what I enjoy doing, because I'm listening to what somebody has to say. And that is a very, very destructive thing, especially for men on this planet.